Good morning, my darling. I was about to record, and my voice is just not up for it yet, so I thought we would give you a desk tour. I use Studio One. I usually read off to this side. As you can see, we are about to restart Dream Quest of Unknown Kadath, and I'll tell you why in just a second. I usually have my microphone right here. You know, my audio box is down there. I have this quote. My father loved Winnie the Pooh. I'll read it to you. If ever there is a tomorrow when we're not together, there is something you must always remember. You are braver than you believe, stronger than you seem, and smarter than you think. But the most important thing is even if we're apart, I'll always be with you. Winnie the Pooh. Or A.A. Milne, as you know. I got this cool skeleton a long time ago at Ross. Excuse my chair. It's very creaky. I have this really cool, it's on a dictionary page, and they printed it. Obviously the giant squid. It's very cool. Here's a fun fact. I have a Harry Potter mouse pad since before the movies came out. As you can see, it's from the year 2000. I still have it, I still use it. And not only that, but give me 1 second and I'll show you. I do have a Harry Potter tattoo. It's probably kind of silly, but one year for Halloween, I was Bellatrix. And, I got the Dark Mark as a temporary tattoo, and I thought it looked pretty neat on the arm. I know there's a lot of controversy about J.K. Rowling and the Dark Mark, but it fits with what I like about scary things. On to the next part of the desk. Please excuse my chair if we creak again. Currently watching Absolute Zero playing he's playing Might and Magic 6. Big fan of the game. It's one of my favorites. That and Heroes of Might and Magic 3, Might and Magic 7. Moving on, we have just some things here. One of the books that started it all, obviously, H.P. Lovecraft. Currently reading The Grapes of Wrath. Just have some things here on my desk. As a chronic pain endurer, I do use this brand. I use it every day. And it's really helped. In fact, it's really helped my teeth. I had a tooth that my dog sort of bopped me in the face one day, and it started turning, black. And it has not only kept the tooth in my head, but started changing it back to a normal color, so that's quite amazing. This is my favorite scent. This is what I smell like. Black Orchid. Quality Fragrance Oils. It's a very beautiful smell. Moving on. Here is the crazy setup that I have prepared for you. We're going to be playing Arkham Horror together. It's quite a beautiful game. Let me get it. It is, I would say, fairly expensive. I believe it was $70. But it contains 4 campaigns, I believe. Gently. It's quite fun. Let's see what the back says. The end is near. Let's turn it about from the light. Massachusetts, 1926. Too long has the city of Arkham lived in its placid island of ignorance in the midst of the black seas of infinity. Only a small handful of unlucky investigators dare plunge into that abyss to struggle against the ancient evils that threaten reality from every corner of this New England town. Arkham Horror is a cooperative game of mystery and terror for up to 6 players. Inspired by the writings of H.P. Lovecraft, each unique scenario puts you in the shoes of one of Arkham's investigators as they explore the streets of the city and work together to save humanity from unknowable horrors. Now, the really cool thing about this game is each scenario, and there are 4 I just checked, comes with a card like this. And it shows you how to set up the game board with each of the pieces of the city. And so each scenario will be different. And it explains how to set up the monsters and everything. And I'm very excited to share it with you. It's going to be a very fun time. We will still, of course, be reading Lovecraft. These candles will be lit. These are not part of the game. Neither are these or this tin. This card holder is, though. And I've also just set up the extra pieces over here. Ice cube tray. But we're going to have a lot of fun with this game. There's the rest of my office over there. You can see Brothers Grimm. Right there. The Odyssey, Lewis Carroll. Do you think he'd be offended or enjoy that he's by the Bible? Oh, ignore how dirty that fan is. Then I have a Legend of Zelda poster. And that's about all for this room. We will be recording today Dream Quest of the Unknown Kadath. And actually, let me get back to that. Let me show you something else. This was one of the very first Lovecraft stories that I recorded on my channel. I do record from the screen. It's obviously much easier to do when you're recording. But the book is beautiful, obviously. And when we get to the story, I'm going to show you something quite funny. I have it bookmarked here. Do we have any Star Trek fans in the audience? Are any of you darling Star Trek fans? Because you're about to see something really funny. I was actually on the wrong page. Okay, so we begin here with, we're about midway through the story, I suppose. Oh, actually, we're right at the beginning. You ready? You ready to see what's about to happen? Because it begins right here, this paragraph, starting with, at length, sick with longing for those glittering sunset streets and cryptical lanes among ancient tiled roofs, nor able sleeping or waking to drive them from his mind, Carter resolved to go with bold entreaty whither no man had gone before, and dare the icy deserts through the dark, to where unknown Kadath, veiled and clouded and crowned with unimagined stars, hold secret and nocturnal the onyx castle of the Great Ones. Now, clearly I'm a better reader when I have my microphone in front of me, but Carter resolved to go with bold entreaty whither no man had gone before. Now, I'm not saying Star Trek literally copied Lovecraft, but I think we have some evidence there, don't we? Alright, so thank you for joining me on this little desk tour. We will be back later today with the start of Dream Quest. The reason I wanted to come back to this story is because we did never finish it. And it's obviously one of his most, not most well-known, but obviously well-known. And now I will say, and let me get you one more thing. Hold on one second. So when I first got this book, obviously I was determined to read every story in this book, right? And so we're going to do this, actually. I've already read 30 at least of his stories. And so I planned out which pages they were on. And here's what's even funnier, because I'm such an, I would say, nerd, is I wrote them all down. And I wrote on here how many pages they were, so I knew if I had a day where I just wanted to do a really short story, I could just pick, the shorter stories. And I don't think I've actually crossed out all the ones I've done. If you see one on this list that you desperately want to hear, because I know a lot of you have requested them and I have just become lost with that, please tell me. A few of them I haven't been able to do because they've been a little horrifying. I believe, I think Cats of Ulthar is one of, I can't remember. Maybe that was an Edgar Allan Poe story about the cat. But eventually we'll get to them all. That is just part of, my channel. We're going to read them all. Yeah, I don't have them all crossed out here, I don't think. Anyway, thank you for listening. We will be recording here today the start of Dream Quest again. And I believe I said this earlier, but we are doing that story again because it is one of his more unique stories. And at the same time, it's one of the very first ones that I started to record, and so I desperately want it to be completed for you guys. So I hope you have a wonderful day. I will see you again soon. Goodbye.